Source inside PA State Police details inconsistencies. Questions are being asked by a PA State Police officer around the events that led to the assassination attempt of Donald Trump yesterday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Why was the bomb squad not present? Why was the CERT team asked to take the motorcade instead of the internal perimeter? The CERT team, elite state police team, is always on internal police perimeter as they train for presidential details to secure areas. CERT team normally works with Secret Service to map out every rooftop vantage point, identify breaches of security, and possible breach points. Pop, you and I have both worked this kind of thing.
Yes.
What did you think of what you saw just from that video? And then I'll give my 2 cents.
Well, first of all, it wasn't a big area. There was absolutely no reason why you couldn't have people standing on each and every roof.
Yeah.
All right. And all of the hubbub we're getting from the diversity hire at the top is bullshit. I think
we're going to take her apart later.
Yeah, we're going to get to her. I think, I will give you 2 minutes for incompetence.
Yeah.
Once you go beyond that, it is, in my opinion, either planned or they want it to happen. That is my take on the whole thing.
That was, looking at it from a technical perspective, one, where was the air?
Yeah. Where
was the air? There was no drones in the area. There was no overhead. Usually with a president like that, you've got at least some form of air up there. Okay, I'll give you, they wouldn't send out one of the big drones from Huachuca, but they at least should have had some security drones up there watching stuff.
Yeah.
2, not only was the building that the shooter was on not occupied, but there was a building northwest of that.
And the water tower.
That was higher up.
Yeah.
That didn't have anybody on it. And the slope, the pitch, it's called pitch, you bitch. Oh, sorry about that. It rhymed. I couldn't help myself. The pitch of the roof was too steep to put somebody on.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
I know. It's called a soft shoe.
Yes. And then to the east, the water tower that you were talking about, that's the dominant land feature in the area, the dominant construction feature in the area. I had like 10 guys on that damn thing. You could see everything, including the neighborhood on the other side of the trees that the shooter walked through with a ladder and a rifle bag.
Actually, the reports I've read, he made several trips.
I'm sure he did. I was probably there early in the morning, when the Secret Service should have been out there securing the perimeter. Yeah. Look, when we did that kind of stuff, the teams would come in. I did SecDef, Cohen, and Sec State Madeline Albright. We were comms for one of their details when they came over in 2000. And we were 2 weeks out, they brought us in and told us what everything was and what the plan was and what the freaks were and what the fallbacks were, the whole 9 yards. And all we were there for was to monitor the comms. I wasn't providing comms or anything like that. We were just listening in on all of the channels that we knew that were in the area. Then but these guys came in weeks ahead of time to prep. And it was just for a meeting up in Panmunjom. This was in Korea. And then a thing at the embassy.
Okay.
And it was,
but this is Trump, though.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
But a lot of times he does stuff on the fly where they don't have 2 weeks to set up. But there should have been somebody out there. They know within 72 hours what's going on.
No, these rallies are not set up 72 hours in advance. They're not set up 72 hours in advance. Most of these are planned. If there's like a calendar of all of these events.
Okay.
There's typically a calendar.
I stand corrected.
The thing is, though, the complete lack of, even in the morning, the kid got through in the morning to bring stuff in. Really?
Yeah, we're going to show you that picture.
Not
now, but we'll get to it.
Okay, we'll get to that.
But yeah, I mean, he was seen range finding. He crawling around on the roof. A huge ladder was brought in. I mean,
yeah, at least a 12-foot ladder.
What the
At least a 12-foot ladder.
Are you talking about? I mean, everyone should be fired.
Everybody should be fired. So, Ann Vanderson says something here that is true. Interagency communications is always hard. Normally, the local county controller assigns channels for the state, county, and local police to communicate. When feds get involved, they have their own system, their own communications. Much of it's digital these days. I think all of it's digital these days.
Hey, before you walk, could you zoom in on the screen there?
Oh, you want me to zoom in?
Yeah, a little hard to read there. Command plus, I believe.
Yeah, man. Plus, there we go.
There we go. Now,
Apple interface. I have the Apple interface here. Anyway, comms is difficult because, like she says here, they all have different channels to work on, and it causes a lot of confusion. And I think that contributed to the slow reaction, but only to a degree.
Another thing, and this is just my take, arrogance.
Oh, feds are notoriously arrogant.
Listen, I write about this in my book. If you're arrogant, people do not want to work with you.
Yes.
All right. And I've interfaced with alphabet agencies before, doing counter drug and stuff like that.
Yep.
Very arrogant.
Yeah.
Very arrogant.
Yeah, they think they're the cat's ass.
Yeah.
They really do. It's a real serious problem with these people. So that covered a lot of it, but then we come to some more fun. When the shooting started, the sniper teams were inside the building that the shooter was on the roof of.
Well, okay, now hang on. There was local PD in there.
Yep.
State PD in there.
Yes.
And the local SWAT team.
The QRF.
Yeah, in there.
Which should have been the QRF.
Yeah. You want to talk about a Keystone Cop setup. That is it in a nutshell. And it played out in 2024, not in 1924, where they had black and white, no goddamn sound.
I keep picturing, I'm watching that video, picturing the Benny Hill soundtrack. Remember Benny Hill? Yeah.
What's even better is video has come out today saying that, or showing that the state police, everybody, they couldn't get through the fence to get to the building, so they had to bring in a vehicle to mow down the fence.
I beg your pardon. What?
They're all rushing for the building.
They were rushing for the building.
Yes,
that he was on.
They were inside it.
No, I know, but we're talking people from the actual Secret Service.
Yeah, the people from that was on the outside.
Yeah,
that were already on the outside.
And they couldn't jump over the fence.
They couldn't get over the fence. They had to bring in a vehicle to mow over the fence.
Diversity hire.
I wish I was joking.
I checked, every obstacle course we went over had anywhere from a 6 to a 10-foot wall.
Yes.
And none of us had any problem going over that.
Even your short ass.
Even my short ass, because I learned the monkey swing.
Yep.
I would come at it at a run, catch it at a slight angle, get a hand on it, and go, and get the leg up and go over it. But these guys should be able to go over a normal chain link fence like it's nothing.
Well, I mean, listen, I've said
even
this
in gear.
Listen, hang on. I've said this before many times on the show. A diversity hire at best is mediocre.
Yeah.
All right.
C minus.
Yeah.
It's a C minus.
We're talking about guarding a former, possibly future president, and you surround him with Pillsbury doughboys. What the hell are you thinking? And especially the chicks. Now, some of those agents look pretty rough. There was a couple there that I wouldn't mess with. But we're going to rip into the lunch lady, and then you got the cat lady, and God damn, it was just a clusterfuck.
And
then after they get him in the vehicle, there's like maybe 10 or 15 seconds where you see the 3 female agents, and all I'm getting from there is I'm not getting any confidence, no bravery. It's all indecision and fear.
I have an email that we got just as we were setting up that I'm going to read a little bit of a little later from an attorney I worked for in Los Angeles, who is one of the toughest corporate litigators I've ever seen. And she was a 5'0" figure skater when she was a girl who became a powerhouse attorney. And she wrote a scathing takedown of those female Secret Service agents.
Yep.
So, girls, you're getting peered out. It's called being peered out.
Yep.
In any of the schools we went to, your peers in your class could look at you and go, "A dirtbag, a boy."
Yeah, in Ranger School, you can only get peered out, I believe, once or twice when I was there.
Yeah.
I myself never got peered.
Yeah.
So
I never got peered. I only went to one school that did that, though. So
yeah, if you're a nug or a douchebag, and you weren't pulling your weight, the rest of the team will vote you off the island.
Yeah.
That's what being peered out means.
Yeah, exactly.
And bring up the proof of the video that I'm talking about. Here you go. Zoom in a little bit here. So yeah, here's the guys, everybody.
Okay.
So
You can't even jump the fence.
This is the fence?
this is the fence.
Are you fucking kidding me? They can't jump over that fence?
Every one of them should have been over that fence already.
I can hear that. I can hear it.
And those are state trooper guys. Oh, this is shameful.
Are you kidding?
Hit it like you mean it.
Hit it like you mean it. These Sallies can't even drive through a fence with a police cruiser.
All right, I've seen enough of this.
That's painful. Dude, I could go through that with my truck.
Wow.
I have a light duty 4x4. I've got a light duty 4x4 because I live in a rural area and every once in a while I need to haul a bunch of hay bales.
Now listen, I'm an old infantry guy.
Yeah.
Right? And what I just saw there at the fence was a bunch of people with a wrist-face disconnect problem. They eat too much. They're gravitationally challenged. Yeah. If you're in law enforcement, you might have to do things like, I don't know, run, go over, through, or around obstacles.
Yeah.
You might have to actually manhandle somebody who's being an asshat.
Yeah.
All right. And you can't always rely on the spray, the taser, and your gun.
Yep.
Your body is your primary weapon. It's with you everywhere you go while you're alive. You should probably keep it in good running order. Make sure you have adequate strength, endurance, speed, so you can navigate such things.
Yeah.
Especially if your life depends upon it, for God's sake.
Going over a standard that's a 5-foot chain link fence that Jimmy just showed us. You should be able to go over that without even, you should be able to just basically go right through it. If you're one of these guys, this is absolutely ridiculous stuff. I'm going to have to hit the command plus again here. I see.
Okay.
3 Beaver County police snipers were reportedly stationed inside the building used by the shooter. It gets worse. A sniper stationed on the second floor providing overwatch. Listen to this. This is great. Saw the shooter outside the building and looking up at the roof. He then walked away, returned, whipped out his phone when one of the snipers took the first 2 pictures of him. They're taking pictures of this guy. Crooks then took out a rangefinder, at which point the sniper radioed back to a command post. Crooks then disappeared again and came back a third time with a backpack. This is probably the weapon at this point. You know what? I wonder if it's like a Keltec. I wonder if he's got a foldy.
It could be a foldy.
If he had a backpack.
It's a foldy.
Yeah. The sniper is called in once again with information that he had a backpack and that he was walking toward the back of the building. So law enforcement had eyes on the shooter the entire time, took pictures of him, notified the command post, and nothing was done until Crooks shot Trump, at which point the Secret Service snipers returned fire and killed him. One has to wonder, remember the rules of engagement for the last 20 years? Oh, you can only shoot at them if you're shooting at you.
No, listen. All right. Now, first of all, there are reports out there that they had contact with this guy out like 30 minutes prior. My cutoff is 2 minutes. This, in my opinion, was allowed to happen.
Yeah. At the very least, they should have cornered him and questioned him.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
They should have cornered. I played the bad guy for a risk assessment in a large facility where they got security and everything like that. And I walked around with a backpack acting shady. Mm-hmm. And within minutes, they corralled me into a wing and then cornered me into a room that only had one entrance. And we were just doing the freaking,
playing the game.
And took them minutes to do this. They didn't even attempt to do this with this guy. There wasn't even an attempt to corral him and question him. No. And it's the first thing you do. I mean, it's playing the bad guy. That's what I learned is but the first thing they're going to do is try to isolate you, get you away from any people that you could cause harm to, and then start questioning you.
Yep.
And they're kind of casual about it. Hey, can we help you? Is there something we can help you? Hey. And then it gets from there, it escalates.
What's in
as
the bag?
long as you escalate it.
What's in the bag?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Channel 11's Nicole Ford confirmed that Beaver County's ESU team had 8 members at the rally, including snipers and spotters. According to Ford's sources, one of them noticed a suspicious man on the roof near the rally at 5:45 p.m., called it in and took a picture of the person. We have learned from our sources the person in the picture is Thomas Crooks, who told us it's not clear if Crooks had a gun with him at that point. So local police command had roughly 30 minutes
30 minutes.
To coordinate with Secret Service. Nobody corralled him. Nobody questioned him.
And it went over the radio.
Yeah, it went out over.
And they still marched Trump out onto the stage to be the turkey to get shot for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, one former Secret Service agent said officers inside a building that's not mitigating a high ground vulnerability. How do you mitigate a high ground vulnerability?
You deny it.
Or you take it.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other. Yeah. Oh, my God. Whatever happened in Butler, this was not a failure of the local, state, or federal officers on the ground who responded to the shots.
Hang on. This is not a failure of the local, state, or federal officers on the ground?
I'm going to read a quote. I'm just reading a quote. He says, this is
here.
a failure at the management or command level who failed to secure an obvious weakness in the security of this event.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Absolutely correct. That's total bullshit.
Both parties are equally responsible. The boots on the ground should have told their command to pound sand, and their command should have never, ever told them to do any of these things.
Or
that's insane.
Even like the equivalent of an NCO.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, man, get a guy on that fucking roof.
Are you Sergeant? I don't think we need to do that.
Eat a dick, get your ass up there. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. Lieutenant, I'm going to need you to go over there. And that clipboard, I'm not sure that's straight. Be sure that's square to get a guy on that tower right now.
Yeah, they should have had somebody on the tower on every one of those buildings around there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And they should have had they should have had two guys walking through those woods too.
Yep.
Looking up.
You know what would be perfect for the woods? K9 patrol.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Take the dogs for a damn walk.
Yeah. The Secret Service.
Dogs love it. Take them for a walk.
They don't have dogs, I believe. I think that would be the local sheriff.
State and local do.
They do? I don't know.
State and local, not Secret Service.
No, state and local does,
police.
yeah.
Sheriffs, they absolutely have dogs.
Yeah. I've seen the sheriff's dog fuck some people up in Wayne County.
I have an animal thing. I used to screw with the MP's dogs all the time. They get mad at me because I could get them to roll around on the ground and play with me.
Oh, yeah.
Those are working dogs. Oh, you puppy.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.